up, though? And welcome to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Curt. Still, today we look at potential moves that Brad Holmes will make next. We're on our way to 3,000 subscribers, and we are currently at 2825. And we have channel memberships. It's another way to help grow this channel. And before I bring in my co-host, man, I got to say welcome to our newest channel member, Sean Bird. So welcome to the Boss Up Ball Out family, Sean. We appreciate you becoming a member of the channel. And it's time to bring in my co-host for today. First up, man, y'all know who it is. It's the hardest working man down there in Jackson, Michigan, man. Cooking meals. He's a chef, coaching kids. He's a coach. And just being an all-around good dude. It's my man, the Wolverine Lion, who?
Coach Mike Jones. What's going on, Lion fans?
Man, and hide your aunties, because you know he's coming to the stage, man. He's that lady's pet, the biz regret. You ain't seen nothing yet. The highest player from the Himalayas, LL Cool Toys. What's going on, my guy?
What's up, y'all? Happy Monday morning.
Man, and y'all see Geronimo in the building, man. You know he's always being part of the show, so you know how we get down. Hey, if you are new to the channel and you don't know how we get down, we look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say they are bossed up with that big blade dance. If we disagree, we say they are balled on. And we give our reasons why we agree or disagree. No hot takes here, just our true thoughts and opinions about what's happening with our favorite team, the Detroit Lions. You ain't getting that Nick Wright. You ain't getting Rob Parker. You ain't getting Stephen A. Smith. You ain't getting none of them cats, man. We're going to give you the 100, man. We're going to give you the real how we really feel about what's going on with our favorite team, man, the Lions. All right. So today, my man, LL, go ahead. He is coming to the stage first as he finishes yawning, and he's going to talk about potential big moves that the Lions could make next. What's up with Brad Holmes? So what you got, my dude?
Well, that's going to be a part of the question that I'm going to ask you guys, and that's just because as it stands right now, we currently have, from multiple sources, we have $42.8 million available to spend, if I'm reading that right? That's the top 51 cap space. So I don't know if I'm interpreting that correctly, but so that leaves us a lot, and I wasn't able to pull up the rankings, but we still that's like second or third in available cap space remaining. So, that's pretty gosh darn good. Our biggest cap hits of 2025, according to SI.com, is Jared Goff at $32.6 million, Taylor Decker at $23 million, Big Frank the Tank at $14 million, Amon-Ra St. Brown at $13.9, and DJ Reader at $12.9. So we not, and those numbers aren't necessarily the biggest. There's some people out there making $65 million a year. So, lots of flexibility there, lots of, big contracts, but not team breaking contracts, if that makes any sense. And that's where what Curt came into play. Like, what moves are still out there to be made? It's after the draft. Some people feel like we fill some of those holes. Some people feel like we still need to fill, or there's other places that we need to add or do anything like that. I'm not real sure. I mean, of course, we could always bring back an edge, one that's been floating around, dating a woman, Cash Doll, and that's Lord Zed. So, that could be a big move to make soon, and I don't believe it will cost us too much. Of course, we have others to re-sign, like Aiden Hutchinson and Jamison Williams. So, those are the two names that's coming up. There's lots more. I hope y'all don't think I forgot about anybody else, but those are probably the two soonest ones we have to take care of. So, with that 40 some odd million, will some of that go to them? Will some of that go to, bringing back maybe a player like Lord Zed, or somebody else is, dangling out there just a name and a position that we've all said we need to add. That's Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons has been, I believe, an all-pro safety, but definitely a Pro Bowler a few times. He's pretty darn good. I don't know what his price tag will be, but maybe that's a move that some people may want to see. But I'm going to ask you guys, Curt and Mike, and you guys out there in Boss Up Land, if there's any moves out there, what should the Lions do? Should we hang on? These last few years we've hung on to a lot of that, or some of the cap space. We didn't spend it all and stuff like that. So do we continue that trend of, holding on to see, or maybe holding on to roll over some? Shall we, do a couple of early re-signings with Hutch or Jameson Williams, or bring back a player like Lord Zed or some other outside help? What do you guys think?
For me, I do like the idea of a Justin Simmons. I think the Lions tried to adjust, bringing in there's a name Dan Jackson from Georgia in the draft. So they did draft a hard hitting safety, some guy who is more of an in the box type of guy, So that leaves Brian Branch out there on the perimeter, even though we know he can do both. As far as I think the offensive line is fine. Now, if before the draft I would have said an offensive lineman, I would have said interior offensive guard. I don't think so now. I think the drafting of Ratledge and Frazier, is the move for the offensive line. So I think we're pretty good at solid as far as rotational in the offensive line. Now, of course, the move that LL was just talked about, man. Now, before we get into that, the Lions do have about $42 million worth of cap space, getting closer to 43, but they do have to sign their rookie draft picks. And according to Spot Rack, it's going to cost about $9 million to do that in Spot Rack over the cap. So it's going to be more like $33 million. So, but that still gives a wiggle room for Brad to bring in a couple of veteran players if he chooses to do so. Lions fans would love to see Zadarius Smith rejoin the team since the team did not get a big name edge in the draft or free agency. And then there's somebody else that I've talked about before. And I've talked about him on the show before. And that's the other Smith that played in Green Bay. And that's Preston Smith. All right. So his sack numbers weren't the best in 2024. But he's got a strong bull rush like Marcus Davenport. Plus, he's got a big edge over Davenport. We know Davenport's on a roster, right? What's the big thing that Preston Smith has that Davenport doesn't have? Availability. The dude has never, ever missed a game due to injury throughout his career. Just hasn't done so. But of course, there's Preston Smith and it is Zadarius Smith. So, remember they called them the Smith brothers then, and they was with the Packers. Mm-hmm. But let's look at this. I'm going to bring everybody back on the stage. Look at these comparison numbers. Let's take this down. Look at this. Preston Smith leads in pretty much as far as statistics in every category over Zadarius Smith. I mean, they're the same age. Both of them are 32. He's played more games, interceptions, yards, sacks, even though it's about a sack and a half more. Solo tackles, forced fumbles, they even, and fumble recoveries. The only thing that Zadarius Smith really leads in is awards. He kind of cut off 3 Pro Bowls, and he has an All-Pro year as well. But looking at this, and I think for me, I'm not saying that I want one over the other. However, if you look at these two side by side, to be honest with you, I wouldn't matter if it's either one of them. I could take Zadarius Smith. I could take Preston Smith. We all know that Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith's game are a little bit different. I think Preston Smith is more of that push the pocket type of edge rusher, and that works good with a player like Aiden Hutchinson because you push quarterbacks in the pockets to him on the opposite side. So either guy would definitely work, and along with Justin Smith. But I think there's that. That's for me. I think that's the next move that the Lions make is with an edge, a proven edge rusher. This because we know that Marcus Davenport is just not a reliable player. You have him and he can play good if he's healthy, but you can't just rely on his health. So you got to add some depth there at edge. What you got, Coach Jones?
Yeah, I'm gonna boss up on that, and like you said, Curt, Marcus Davenport has not been healthy, and if he was, he would be a very productive player. But if we're fifths, we all be drunk. So with that being said, you know what? I think there is only one move left for the Lions to make, and that is to grab Big Z up and Big Z and just bring him back to Detroit. Well, he already here, you know, LL. But yeah, just bring him back, man. I think our roster is solidified. I don't really see any big moves being made, so yeah, man. Bring Big Z back, man, and that's it. That's all I got, man. We have a well-rounded roster, so.
Yeah, and what you said, like with Za'Darius, he's already entrenched in the Detroit culture. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you call that?
Yeah, man. You know, Dayton Cash Doll, which is, you know what I'm saying, Detroit rap. I can't call her a legend. She's a Detroit chat. She's a well-known Detroit rapper. You know what I'm saying? I can't call her. She ain't a rap legend to me in the game. You know what I'm saying? And like she's
Detroit, maybe. Detroit, maybe.
Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you know, looking at, you know, her status, you know, I can't say she ain't saying she can't rap. I'm just saying that for me, outside of Detroit, she's not a rap legend. You know what I'm saying? But he's still walking around wearing his Lions gear, walking around playing with the kids, posting on Instagram. He's got a custom Detroit Lions pinky ring. I mean, come on back, dog. Just go ahead and sign the contract, man. Brad ain't gonna do you dirty. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We'll get you a good contract. You just weren't gonna get all that money that was tied to another previous contract in Detroit. It wasn't gonna happen.
He just cast out as they say, because he got that Detroit Lions custom ring. She must got that good.
You know what I'm saying? It's sunshine. You know what I'm saying? Call it sunshine. Tell your mama I ain't coming home. Hey, man, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. Hey, if you didn't know already, man, the Boss Up Ball Out podcast merch shop is now open, man. You can find the link in the description of this video or on the homepage of the channel. Put Boss Up Ball Out 10, all caps, at checkout. When you spend $45, you get 10% off an item, man. We'll be rocking some samples soon. Like I said, we just got to order them and get them in, man. But go check out the store in the link of this video, or you can check it out on the homepage, man. So my topic today, man, it just was a lot of argument. It was a big argument over this weekend over on social media, especially on X, man, or Twitter, about Aiden Hutchinson's latest video. I'm like, what in the hell? Why is this even an argument? Like, y'all clowning, man. So, like I said, there's been a lot of chatter about Hutch's latest rehab video. It shows him hitting some intense workouts. Yes, the big difference in the video is how fast his twitch exercises like jumping, sprinting, and explosive bursts off the line. It's just like he's just getting some stuff back, man. And you know that explosiveness is part of his game, man. It's awesome to see him recovering like he has, man. Now that being said, if you watch the video, if you haven't seen it, let's put it up on the screen. All right, you in there now, so y'all can see the video. So we talk about that. Watch it now. You know what I'm saying? So that's the video that we're talking about. So you have a point of reference to what we're talking about when we have this discussion. Yeah. So looking at that, man, he still has some kinks in his workout, man, to work out. But, you know, he has a little bit of hitch in his stride, and then his left leg is still a little bit weaker and is not as coordinated. And you can see that. But these are some issues that can get better really quick, you know what I'm saying, in a quick manner, right? Now, next up, we have OTAs is coming up here at the end of the month, May 28th through the 30th. And Hutch is probably likely to take part in probably some limited capacity. Probably not a big deal. We have no reason to rush him back in the offseason workout. Still got 4 months to the NFL season, right? So I expect him to be in camp for everything, right? And most Lions fans, like myself, are pretty positive about the progress in the video, man. I'm like looking at Hutch like, yeah, man, he's doing his thing. However, space, you got some other fans from the NFC North teams that are quick to point out, oh, he's struggling with that injured leg, and someone will calling him Gimpy Hutch and act like his career is over. I don't know what the hell they're watching, right? Because, I think it will be more concerning for me if this was closer to camp, you know what I'm saying, to the start of the season. But like I said earlier, with the season being like 4 months away until the NFL kicks off, man, he's got plenty of time to strengthen that leg, get it 100%, and he should be good to go by week 1. I don't know if you guys were paying attention to this video or what the comments were on X, but I'm looking at this like, why is this even the discussion about Hutch 4 months from the season? And you look at how he's progressed from like the straight line running video to more the zigzag running, and then what he's showing in his latest video. I'm not understanding the argument. Like, what are you guys seeing that you saying, oh, his career's over, he's done? And I'm like, is that just wishful thinking by them, or they don't want? They just don't want to see Hutch do well? I mean, they know what he was at the beginning of last season and what a tear he was on. He was on track to be the defensive player of the year, and if he can get back to close to that production, as far as the way he moves, he get back to even a resemblance of how he was at the beginning of last season. Man, it's going to be a problem for NFC North teams all season. So. I'm gonna come to you first, Coach Jones. What are your thoughts on the video and the argument?
Well, first of all, the video is all positive for me because the next step for Hutch is contact. I mean, when you see him hopping on one leg on the blocks, and he's on that leg. Then you see him on the treadmill where he's full out sprinting on that leg. Man, the only thing left is for contact. So, and we got 4 months, like you said, Curt, into the season. So, you know what? It's people who just haters. And I understand why, because they division rivals. They hoping for the worst for the Detroit Lions. But you get a guy who was it 6 months ago he got hurt. Or something like that. So, it's a timeline where he still got 4 months, man, and he's gonna be ready. If he's doing all that now, he's gonna be ready. The next thing is for him to contact. Like, that's the next thing. Like, he's progressing very well. So, for all y'all out there who wishing bad things on the Wolverine from the other Wolverine, y'all need to stop it, cut it out, because he's going to end up ruining y'all day. I'm telling you right now. He going to come back, he's going to ruin all y'all day.
Yeah, what you got, LL?
That's the most old person warning. He going to ruin y'all day. but and I agree with that as well. But big boss up to both of y'all on this one. Yeah, man. If the season was starting next month or something like that, then yeah, we might say, all right, he gonna miss a little bit of time or whatever. But yeah, this is what it is. While he's working towards it, so I don't really care about this. I wait to see what's going on the closer we get to the season. I expect him to be fully ready. I know there was a lot floating out there saying he wouldn't be ready at the beginning of the season. So. I mean, even if he's not ready for game 1, but maybe let's say game 3 or 4, he'll be back early enough. I ain't tripping, and he ain't gonna be tripping either. Obviously, even with the limp, he still don't trip because that's what. Never mind.
Anyways, man. Well, man, I'm looking at that video, man, and I'm like, and shout out to our guy from the DSA, Right or Wrong, man. We had a really deep discussion. about this on one of his timelines, man. And I'm looking at this thing like that thread was like, I'm like, why? I can see if you why you look talking about he'll never be the same. And I'm looking at this dude like, are you stupid? Like, do you know how young this dude is?
Yeah.
Like this dude's still in his mid-20s, man. Like, please stop talking. Like, it's like either you don't know football or you don't know like life. Like, like I don't get it, man. And you don't know Hutch because he didn't have a serious like a leg fracture before. He had one at Michigan. And look what he became after that. So, man, yeah, you can please stop talking. Hey, man, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All the things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And shout out to my man T-Bone Locks, man, the other member of our channel. So, man, make sure y'all join, man. We got some exclusive content coming to y'all shortly, man. Y'all get some exclusive content next week. We do one exclusive video for our members a month. So we're going to start that this month for my man T-Bone Locks and my man Sean Bird. So thanks, fellas, for definitely joining the channel, man. Hey, the Boss Up Ball Out podcast is sponsored by who? Dubby, baby, man. Our favorite flavor is Irish Strike with that blue tropical punch flavor. It's the ultimate fuel for conquering what's going on ahead of you in the day. You know, you get that laser focus green fruit coffee extract, man. Helps you concentrate. You get all those amino acids for brain function, and you get some brain boosting vitamins as well, B3, B6, B12, and vitamin C. All right. And the energy comes from that 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. No sugar, maltodextrin, artificial colors or dyes, fillers, or BS. Cost you about $1 per serving, man. Beats that coffee or canned energy drink any day of the week. No crashes, no jitters, no anxiety. You can find the link to buy Dubby in the description of this video and put in that code Boss Up Ball Out Pod at checkout, all caps, to get 10% off your order. Take on your day with Dubby. Now, man, y'all know who's coming to the stage, man. Coming to the stage, man. Oh, his wife going on like that. But Coach Jones going to talk about the Lions and poaching the Michigan Panthers, man. What you got?
Yeah, so y'all, as we all know, we posted Michigan Panthers last season. You know, having to come through, but it's like, are we gonna do it again? You know, do we got people watching the Michigan Panthers, paying more attention? And you know what? We might go to that well one more time. I think the Michigan Panthers are going to become a poaching squad for the Detroit Lions. So with that being said, I'm gonna highlight two players who I think have potential to join the Detroit Lions practice squad. And the first one is the 6'2", 215-pound quarterback Bryce Perkins. Now, you say Bryce Perkins, yeah, Bryce Perkins, because who is his game similar to? Hendon Hooker. And that's the reason why, you know, you look at the development of Hendon Hooker, and none of us really know what his development is like, because the Detroit Lions, first of all, thank the Lord, have been very healthy at the quarterback position, but also they kind of keeping it under wraps about what Hendon Hooker's, his capabilities are and his progression. And, some reports are like a little hesitant on his progression. Well, Bryce Perkins, even though it's on the UFL, is getting a lot of game time, a lot of gameplay, a lot of reps, a lot of live reps at the kind of what you would say semi-pro type of atmosphere. So Bryce Perkins is a guy who I'm watching every game, and he's growing. And he's a guy definitely that if I was Detroit Lions, I'd reach out to him and bring him into camp, man. Bring him to see if he can make a practice squad. And then the second guy who caught my eye is the 6'2", 290-pound, defensive tackle named Garrett Marino. He does mostly play the nose, and so he'd be a very undersized nose. But he's a guy who I noticed on tape. I noticed when I went to the game, he pushes the pocket. He inserts himself and he puts a lot of leverage. He gets under guys and he is hard to move. He just looks like a I can't think what it is. One of the he just like man he just like a guy who you put him there and he's stuck and you can't move him. You know what I'm saying? Like you try to move him and you try and push him and he don't go nowhere, man. And I think that's another guy, man. We had so many problems on the D line last year that's a guy that Garrett Moreno I would look to bring into camp as well and see if he can make a practice squad. But and then the one guy who I see if I can find him real quick. The one guy who I might bring in as well is the 6'2", 202-pound receiver Malik Turner. That's a big body guy who's always open. He's making plays. He reminds me of the receiver that we signed last year. I can't remember his name. Yeah, Tim Patrick. He reminds me of Tim Patrick before the injuries. So with that being said, I know you guys might not watch the Michigan Panthers like that, but do you think that any of these three players would have a chance to make the practice squad? Are they going to follow in the footsteps of Jake Bates? Or, they like, you know what, we going to keep the Michigan Panthers with the UFL, dog, because y'all,
Okay. So, don't be surprised. Get ready, Coach Jones, because the phrase is coming. Absolutely not. The Detroit Lions, to me, I don't think they won't grab any players from the UFL, from the Pittsburgh Panthers offseason. I think the Lions' specific needs for the field for their position, they will focus on free agency. They added some in the draft, but I just think the UFL, as far as isn't as competitive as the NFL. I'm not saying that you can't find a guy, because we know we did, because the Lions usually prefer guys with NFL experience, but Jake Bates was the exception last year, and kickers are pretty universal for the most part, man. You can, find those guys, someplace, find them guys at truck stops or whatever. But I think the Lions have their Jake Bates was a brick salesman, and he hadn't sold a brick yet. So I'm just saying, it's easier to find a kicker than it is to find, like in a UFL, than it is to find like a defensive lineman or or a linebacker, because it just doesn't fit. The Lions have their own system, and I don't think Mike Nolan's system is conducive to what the Lions do on defense. That's just me. And I think as far as the practice squad guys, I think the Lions going to have a loaded practice squad. So I think, in short, man, I think the Panthers have the interesting players. I like all the guys that you mentioned. I like, and I know those guys because I do watch Michigan Panthers football. Michigan Panthers were the last professional team to bring a championship to the state of Michigan. So I mean, that's way back in the day, and they might win one this year. But I think the competition level it just doesn't match the NFL as far as skill positions and things of that nature. These are guys that are trying to get back into the league, or these are guys that are just trying to play. I mean, I like those guys, man. Toa and McCray, man, they got those running backs. Those guys run hard. And the Michigan, and the Michigan offensive line is absolutely nasty, man. The Panthers offensive line is good, man. And like you said, the one guy I would have thought would have been Speaks, but he's been hurt this year. He's been out of the lineup. So
if
that was the one guy I probably would have thought would have been Brandon Speaks. But what you got, LL? Because that's probably the guy you probably were talking about.
Yeah, because I was trying to look at his stats and stuff, and I seen that he wasn't really doing too well. And I was trying to see, is he hurt or something like that? But that explains it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was the name that was coming out. I didn't know his name. I always think it's either number 57 or 52, but it wasn't no 52 this year. So it was 57 that speaks, but outside of him, I don't really know. I'm not gonna go against it though. Maybe they could bring him in for a tryout or anything like that. But if outside of the injury or anything like that, I would have said 57, and that's Braylon Speaks.
Yeah, definitely.
Breland Speaks, sorry.
Breland Speaks, yeah.
I would have agreed with that. If he wasn't injured, I would have definitely said he was the first, because he's an edge rusher that gets you double digits. So,
definitely. Speaks is a good dude, man. I like Speaks, man. And y'all can all tell, man. Shout out to our guy, man, Lauren Vander Elsh, man, Michigan Panthers Pride podcast, my man. You know what I'm saying? Doing that great things over there, man. Hey, man, like the video and share the video and comment on the video. All these things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans like yourself. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, man. It's free. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. It's free 99 and 50 free cent. If you want to pay a little something, you can become a channel member. So that's a little bit of chunk of change, man. You pay it once per month, and you know what I'm saying? You can get some exclusive content like we're going to start putting out for a couple of members that we have on the channel. But if you haven't done so already, make sure you do us a favor and follow the crew on your favorite social media platforms. My man, Coach Joe's going to have a nice video coming out about all the fights that happened this weekend, man. It was a whole bunch of fights this weekend. So make sure you check them out, man, and go over check them out on Wolverine Sports Talk, man. But that Beyond the Ropes boxing playlist is right here on this channel. I post content from this channel, all of my social media platforms, and go check out my man LL Cool Torrance from My High Media, man. He doing on fishing videos, on barbecue videos, man, and the Tupperware t-shirt exchange videos. All right. Thank you for starting your week out with us, man. Right here on the Boss Up All Out podcast, your home for gang debated by Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. Time for party chops for today's show. Coach Jones, what you got for the people?
Yes, sir. It's the beginning of the work week. No, I'm just playing, man. But you know what, man? We just gonna keep our eyes glued to the TV and just wish for some Detroit Lions news, and be on the lookout for that Beyond the Ropes video, because that will be coming soon, maybe even tomorrow.
Yeah, all right. All right, what you got, LL?
Happy Monday morning out there. Big shout out to, like you said, Lauren Vander Esch. She always looks out, for the tickets. My apologies for not being able to, accept any of those just yet. But, like we spoke about, maybe I'll be able to get in there. But also shout out to, what was the members? T-Bone Locks, and what was the other one?
Sean Bird.
Shout out to T-Bone Locks and Sean Bird, our two members. So welcome, to the crew, I guess, and everybody else out there. It's Cinco de Mayo. If you get y'all some breakfast burrito or tacos or anything like that, make sure you add a little bit of hot sauce on that thing. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, definitely, man. And, congratulations to Michigan Panthers, man. First place in the UFL division. I think they were tied with Burman, but they got the points against, man. They were the highest. Yesterday was the highest scoring game for one team, 38 points for the UFL this year, and it was the Michigan Panthers, man.
And against the 4-1.
From I guess the XFL division, the Panthers are in the USFL division, and of course it's all the UFL. But yeah, shout out to Michigan Panthers, man. Doing big things out there in Ford Field yesterday, man. I checked it out, man. Thank you for starting your work week off with us right here on the Boss Up All Out podcast, your home for getting debated by Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. I will have a special announcement. Gonna hold it for a while, so I've just mentioned it today. So I got a special announcement coming, and maybe a new nickname coming. So you know what I'm saying, I may add to the moniker. You know what I'm saying. So, but of course, man, if you're having a good day, because one day it's gonna be a little bit rough, man. Make sure you share that joy with someone else, because you never know when a small, kind word can help change someone's outlooks on their day or even their life. If you're not having a good day, please don't sit on someone else's joy. And whatever you're doing in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, LL Cool Torrance and Coach Mike Jones, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.